Hiya there. Here I am again to ramble about the significance of the universal energy with the Carlton Football Team. So if you haven't heard me ramble before about the John Elliott curse, there's another video on YouTube that you are welcome to go and watch. However, long story short, John Elliott, who was the president of Carlton from like 1983 to 2002, very well-known bigot. You can look that up in your own time. So in 1999, John Elliott, so while he was still the president of Carlton, he had a curse put on him by an Indigenous Australian community, the Yorta Yorta people, okay? So the words of the curse, which I'm gonna read to you because they're just great words, okay? I'm a word person. May you and your kind and all you own rot and decay. May the winds of change sweep over you and put you below the feet of the people you despise. Now, other people have written about this curse as well. It's mentioned many times. It's how I found it, was looking into AFL teams that say they are cursed and that's why they can't win. And so I thought, well, are any of these people actually cursed? And Carlton was one of the teams that I could actually find information about a curse. Now, after this curse was put on John Elliott, his personal life, his career life, they did indeed begin to rot and decay. And everything that greed and bigotry had allowed him to have was basically torn away from him. So this curse was broken when he died, which has been confirmed by his grandson, who spoke to some members of the Yorta Yorta people who said, yes, indeed, when people die that are involved in the curse does get lifted. So the curse was broken when John Elliott died on the 23rd of September, 2021. Now, the day before that, on the 22nd of September, 2021, Michael Voss was announced as the new coach, all right? So we get Voss, 22nd of September, John Elliott dies, 23rd of September. So, of course, curse is broken, Daddy Voss walks in, and it's very clear to everybody the importance that he's played in the Carlton team, right? That have brought them into this unstoppable force that they are today. So why is that so important? And why am I rambling about it? Well, apart from him being a very skilled past football player and somebody who, you know, younger players can look up to, his energy is the perfect match for the overall Carlton Taurus energy. So when we do a birth chart analysis of Daddy Voss, we can see a couple of things that are very important. He is a Cancer sun. Now, Cancer energy is healer energy. It governs things like nurturing ourselves and others, and it asks us to find our own internal emotional security. It comes after Gemini season in the zodiac, and it asks us to take all of these things that we've learned through logic, through thought, through our mind, take all of those things, and to now allow time to feel into the changes that we've just integrated through our mind. So he is also a cardinal energy sign, which makes him very active, very self-motivated, very ambitious. And it's very common for cardinal energy people to be leaders in their communities or to be entrepreneurs, to run their own businesses, these sorts of things. Cardinal energy it's an instigator energy. And, so he has this ability to see things emotionally and logically through the masculine and the feminine. And he builds relationships confidently, but also with like an air of fun about him. He's very kind of jokester energy. But even with that said, you can still feel his confidence. And his masculine energy is Taurus energy, and that is Taurus energy to the depths of his core. In all of his darkness, there is Taurus energy. Now, this makes him a very calm and steady and dependable person. And so this mix of energy makes him someone who values strength and stability, but not at the cost of emotional imbalances. And he is somebody who is destined to teach in a family type environment, in a family type situation, that slow and steady hard work really does win the race. And he is the example of that, but he is also someone who can teach it to others. So when he makes changes to his life and the things that he is a leader of, he does it from this very balanced and confident place, because his birth chart shows that he is someone who takes the time to understand the situation from all of its aspects, logically and emotionally, before he makes that move. He is somebody who is deeply, to his core, a person that cares about other people, and he can intuitively pick up on other people's emotional states. And it's from that place that he can communicate with them in a way that they understand, which is very important, I think, when you are dealing with masculine energy, a team of masculine energy, particularly, younger masculine energy, that can find it difficult to be able to communicate emotions. And so to have this older masculine energy who can not only speak to you on your level, but who can also intuitively know how you might be feeling without you needing to speak. And I think that is very important. Another important fact on his birth chart is that his sense of discipline stems from maintaining his health. So his overall health, his mental health, his physical health, his emotional health, and his spiritual health, but also his enjoyment out of life. He has some discipline in his house of fun, which means that he needs to be doing something that brings him joy, that brings him pleasure, in order for him to be most disciplined with it. So, for as emotionally stable and nurturing as he is certainly not someone to be messed with, because not only does his masculine energy come at you with the horns of a Taurus, but the energy in which Cancer energy responds when it is feeling attacked, when it needs to speak up for itself, when it feels like it has its back in a corner, Cancer energy comes out fighting in Capricorn energy. So that's not only the bull horns of a Taurus, but it's also the goat horns of the Capricorn. And it will come out, because these are earth energies, very well planned, very grounded. This is not a man who flies off the handle without knowing what he is fighting for, and he will come with facts. And so because he is someone who has had a hard time throughout his younger years standing up for himself, for his own needs, for putting himself first, this very recent energy in the universe has transformed all of this in him. And it has empowered and activated the places in his birth chart that are aligning him with growth and success and luck and abundance. So the Carlton overall energy of the team is Taurus. That is when Carlton was born. And that Taurus energy needs stability and it needs comfort. It needs to be nurtured. It needs to feel like it's a family. It's provider energy. They need to provide for each other. So each member of that family needs to know that it has a place. It needs to know that it's valued for what it can provide the rest of the team, the rest of the family. And this is how they can work best together to push forward, and pushing forward with that stubborn, hard-working energy of the Taurus bull. Now, Daddy Voss, at the lead of this hardworking family, really allows each team member to have somebody at the lead that they can not only look up to, but that they can also learn from. And it's someone who they can share their emotions with very comfortably. And many of the individual birth charts of the Carlton players really speak to needing that safety to be who they are on all of their emotional levels, and to overcome all of their emotional barriers in order to be aligned with their greatest potential. Just to mention a few, recent analysis of a birth chart that I did for Elijah Hollins shows that he is someone who, after his recent mistakes, needs to be in this sort of environment, this family environment, to reach his potential. And there are other players like Corey Durden, Tom de Koning, Jackson Bynes, Sam Walsh, Ashton Moyer, who have a lot of placements in this Taurus and Cancer energy, and they really need the energy of Daddy Voss to help them grow, to help them find their most aligned selves. So a lot of these players that that we're seeing that really align with this energy of Voss have these placements as well that give them an underlying disbelief in their ability and an underlying disbelief that they are working hard enough. And it can make them push themselves too hard, and it can make them really be in a place of low self-confidence. And someone who speaks from his heart, like Voss, is the man that aligns with these placements to help them move through these ideas, to help them believe in themselves, to help them move past these ideals that are blocking them from reaching their full potential. Cancer energy is the nurturer, and it's ruled by the moon, and it has the ability to understand every emotional state because the moon changes signs every 2.5 days, and so does an emotional, the emotional ride. So everybody has a different emotional placement, and the Cancer energy, Daddy Voss's overall energy, gives him the ability to understand those on a level that not everybody can. So that energy of Voss in relation to the individual players and the overall energy of the Carlton team is really not to be underestimated. It is a primary aspect in how the team has formed this cohesive, unstoppable force that they are now. And now that they have started their season completely free of the curse, and having made a lot of steps towards balancing the bigoted energy of John Elliott that got the curse put on them in the first place, and now they have got Voss and many of the other players who have also experienced, based on their birth chart analysis, their own personal evolutions with the energy that was provided to them simply from looking at the Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle, which was from January 2022 until July 2023, which also kind of aligns with that well-talked-about trip to Ed Kerno's farm in June 2023. And that really kind of turned the whole energy of the team around. And now we are in the Aries Libra eclipse cycle, which wraps up in January 2025. But we do have an eclipse cycle that will open right before the grand final, so on September 18th, and that window will close off on October 2. So the energy in the universe, the universal energy, the way the planets are moving, is very certainly pointing to a huge chance for Carlton to be able to play for the flag this year. And we need to remember that it is, in fact, very important, as everyone who is part of the Carlton family, players, admit, the board, the fans, it's very important to stay humble and out of our ego about the wins that Carlton have. And it is very important, as part of the overall journey that is mapped out astrologically for Carlton, that we learn how to stay confident without ego. It's part of the lesson of the Carlton energy across everything, fans, the team, everyone. And we need to learn how to stay supportive in times of loss. This energy of their journey is very much about balance, hard work and balance, and really providing them support unconditionally, because they really have earned that from their supporters this year. They really have. What they put in at the end of last year, the way they turned it around, we all need to start this year with a fresh mind and support them, love them unconditionally. And don't be in ego about the wins. And remember that confidence and pride isn't and doesn't have to be and should not be ego. We can enjoy them as the amazing, hardworking, magical energies that they are, without putting other people down, without concentrating on being better than everybody else. Because as they've shown us, the more they continue to be better than they were before is how they are finding their feet, is how they are trusting in themselves. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you like this kind of content. I have and will continue to really enjoy these AFL and astrology rabbit holes. Carlton and its supporters are more than AFL. and everybody involved with Carlton and their journey is more important than football. So, as always, stay weird and go Blues.